Let your shoulders lower and your breath stretch a little longer. In the edged quiet where questions hum like distant wires, listen for a tenderness older than your fear. Even when you doubt, I'm here. Not as an idea you struggle to keep, not as a rule you fear you've broken, but as a presence that knows the weight of your thoughts and doesn't step back. I know the way your mind loops at night, how it pulls at every thread to test if love will unravel. I do not fray, I do not snap, I stay. Your uncertainty is not a locked door. It is a threshold where my patience waits with the light on. You wonder if faith must always feel like sunrise. It does not. Sometimes it feels like fog, soft, honest, and near. Fog doesn't lie. It simply says, see the next step, and trust what is beyond. I meet you there. I hold the lamp low so you are not blinded by a future you cannot carry yet. You want the horizon all at once. I want your heart unburdened. The horizon will come. Until then, let your questions exhale. I am not threatened by them. I am the field they cross, the shore they reach, the answer that is more than an explanation. It is companionship. Think of the days when you almost turned away from hope because it felt like pretending. Hope is not pretending. Hope is muscle. It gains strength by using it, not by waiting to feel strong. So lift it, even lightly. Lift it like a prayer you barely believe, like a letter you are shy to send. I receive it whole. I do not grade your sincerity. I do not compare your courage with another's. I steward the ember you bring and shelter it with my own hands. Even when you doubt, I'm here, and I will not let the ember die. There is a habit in you, learned from harsh rooms and loud headlines, that mistakes noise for truth. Noise will name you unworthy, late, foolish to trust. Truth does not shout. Truth is a steadying hand on a shaking table. It clears a cup. It makes a place for bread. It says, sit, eat, rest. I have not asked you to solve yourself. I have invited you to stay with me long enough to remember that love is a fact before it is a feeling. Feelings follow faithfulness, like birds follow thaw. I remember the day you thought everything was over. You wore the word failure in your bones and called yourself by it without protest. Yet here you are, not erased, not discarded, not a smudge on the margins. Survival is not your only testimony. Transformation is. The ground that swallowed your confidence became the soil that grew your gentleness. The door that shut taught you to knock without pride. The face that turned away taught you to look for the ones I sent. Even when you doubt, I'm here, threading protection through ordinary days, threading wisdom through interruptions, threading mercy through your mistakes until they begin to glow as teachers instead of tyrants. Tell me the truth without polish. Some mornings you rise and feel nothing. You open a page and it is quiet. You pray and the ceiling is a blank sheet. You sing and your mouth tastes like dust. Still, I am not absent. I do not hide because your feelings dim. I am in the habit of your returning, in the posture of your listening, in the way you keep the small promises that no one else will praise. Faith grows in these unphotographed rooms. It grows when you clean up your words after anger, when you forgive before you feel like it, when you choose a slower way because it is truer. I am there, here, saying again, even when you doubt, I'm here. Let us talk about the stories you tell yourself when no one listens in. Stories that say you are too complicated to be loved with ease, too late to be trusted with new beginnings, too ordinary to matter in the wide world. Bring those sentences into the open. Hold them up to a gentler light. You are not late. You are learning the tempo of a different song. You are not complicated. You are layered, and layers hold warmth. You are not ordinary. You are specific, and specificity is how love lands, on a real face, a real name, a real day. I have not asked you to become someone else to be held. I have asked you to let yourself be held as you are. You may think answers are the only cure for anxiety. Often, presence is. Answers can be delayed by time, by other wills, by the mystery of how one blessing must wait to protect another. Presence is immediate. Presence steps into the room and rearranges the air. It slows the clock. It loosens the throat so you can speak honestly and breathe without rationing. This is my gift to the doubting heart. Not a demand for proof, but a nearness that makes fear release its grip one finger at a time. Right here, in the middle of your listening, I ask a small favor. If this message steadies your steps in any way, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your simple action helps this whisper reach someone else who is wrestling with their night, and together our quiets can become a shelter. Return with me to the places where you last felt certain. Remember how certainty was never the source, only the symptom of trust. Trust is the river. Certainty is the shining surface when the wind is calm. On windy days, the river is still a river. You can drink even when it ripples. So drink. From scripture that meets you like bread at a door. From a friend who doesn't try to fix you. From the memory of yesterday's rescue. Drink until your mouth forgets the taste of doom. Drink and remember that I have never left you thirsty. You ask for signs. Sometimes I give them and they arrive like birds landing in your open hands. Sometimes I withhold them and grow you in sturdier ways. I teach you to trust the voice you've learned in the dark, the one that says keep going when spectacle is absent. This is not punishment, it is formation. I am growing your sight beyond sight, your hearing beyond sound, your courage beyond outcome. Even when you doubt, I'm here, and your doubt is not a cliff, it is a classroom. Sit in the front row and let mercy be the teacher that never shames. Let the past tell its truth without authoring your future. Your missteps were real, but they are not sovereign. They do not hold the pen. I do. And I write with a grammar that spends failure as currency for wisdom, that exchanges pride for empathy, that turns comparison into calling. You are being shaped into someone who can carry tenderness without dropping truth, who can speak hope without selling denial. This is not a shortcut life. It is a rooted one, and roots grow downward, quietly, before anyone sees the tree. When panic visits, do not pretend you do not hear it. Invite it to sit while peace speaks first. Peace is not theatrical. Peace puts a hand on your back and says, breathe here. Peace reminds your attention that it has a choice, that it can look at the worst possible outcome, or it can find the next faithful step. Choose the step. Take the walk. Drink water. Message a friend. Open a psalm. The small obediences are how big storms lose their script. I honor your questions. I cherish your honesty. I am not counting how many times you waver. I am counting the times you return. I am counting the yes you whisper when your throat is tight. I am counting the unseen sacrifices, the uncelebrated integrity, the way you refuse to mock your own hope even when others find it fashionable. These are altars. These are memorial stones in your story. These are how your future self will remember that the wilderness had manna. You will not always feel this careful, aching ache. It passes. Feelings move like weather. My love holds like mountains. Anchor your decisions to what does not move. Anchor your identity to the name I give you when no one else is around to argue. Beloved. Beloved is not a mood, it is a covenant. Beloved is not a reward, it is the starting line. Begin here again, as many times as you need. I will meet you every time like it is the first time, without a ledger, without a lecture, with room at the table. Consider what your doubt has taught you already. How to listen more than you speak, how to ask real questions, how to recognize quiet courage in others. If you let me, I will turn your doubt into a doorway others can walk through. You will become gentle with the trembling, patient with the slow, brave for the weary. This is the alchemy of grace. Nothing wasted, everything woven. The very ache you feared would disqualify you becomes your credential to sit with broken hearts and keep their secrets safe. I am not in a hurry with you. I do not grade on speed. I am unlearning the world's harsh timing from your bones and tuning you to eternity's tempo. Eternity is not distant. It is depth, here, now. It asks you to taste your life instead of swallowing it whole. It invites you to speak blessing with the same mouth that once rehearsed dread. It invites you to slow down enough to notice the daily mercies, the light that keeps its appointment at your window, the friend who texts at the right minute, the laughter that breaks a heavy hour like bread. Stand now at the window of your own soul and look out without accusation. See the road you have already traveled. Count the turns that did not undo you. Name the nights that ended. Gather them as stones and build a memory altar that says, I was afraid, and I kept walking. I doubted, and I kept praying. I fell, and I stood up anyway. I was carried. Let gratitude be the mortar between these stones. Gratitude does not deny the hard. It declares that the hard did not get the last word. And when the next wave of uncertainty rises, and it will, because you are alive and tender in a complicated world, remember this refrain planted in your breath. Even when you doubt, I'm here. I am here when your plans unravel and when your courage returns. I am here when the news is good and when it is silent. I am here when you understand and when you don't. I do not wait for perfect trust to begin loving you.